Hi guys, welcome to Sri Srinivasa Shorthand Institute. 180 words per minute dictation, 5 minutes duration. Start. Speaking on foreign policy, the minister said, I have listened with great attention to the various speeches made and made elaborate notes about what has been said. There were exhibitions of resentment and anger and at what our neighbors had done. One could understand these, but they are not helpful in finding any particular way out of the difficulty. It has been said that I am allergic to suggestions being made or criticisms being flung at me. I hope I am not. But when criticism means reversal of a policy which I believe in, and then I find it somewhat difficult to accept it. May I say that I entirely agree that this matter should not be treated as a party issue. It is a national issue, and indeed, it is something even more than national because it impinges on all kinds of international issues. But I am somewhat pained at the stand taken by some, an attitude of holding with the hair and running with the bound, which is more harmful ultimately. In considering vital national problems in the perspective international relations, it would be imprudent, if not unethical, to think in terms of immediate dividends alone. No country could ever progress if it thought of its own survival and advancement totally oblivious of what was happening all along. Now let us clear about certain basic factors. We are committed to defend our country, to preserve its integrity, to preserve its honor and self-respect, and in doing that, almost any price has to be paid. One cannot proceed on the basis of barter, haggling, and the tactics of the marketplace, where a nation's honor and self-respect are involved. That is about negotiation or war or something in between. I said the other day that if you really stop about what one should do, much has been said about negotiation or war, something in between. I said the other day that if you really stop negotiations, the alternative is something which is either war or leading up to war, or if maybe just sitting tight and doing nothing, which is a very feeble way of meeting the situation. As for the idea of a police action, I am rather surprised that the member who he himself has reminded as has been a gallant soldier should put forward this idea of a police action. What exactly it means in this context is not clear to me. You can have a police action against some very weak adversary where the police can get results. We do not take police action against a larger force of police. It is a misnomer. Let us not confuse ourselves. Then again, reference has been made to local wear. Anyone studying the question of wear today knows very well that local wars do not take place, are not likely to take place between two great countries without developing into big wars and big wars without developing into a world war. Here are two countries both strong in their respective ways, incapable of being defeated by the other. It is absurd for anyone to imagine one can defeat the other in a great war. Here I would like to say something about the areas in dispute. In summer, some shepherds come to graze their sheep and they walk away in winter. We are now in winter. It is exceedingly difficult to expect for some daring explorers or that type of persons to function with ease in those territories. Nobody lives there. I do not deny the possibility, with the great effort of creating conditions for people to live there. They live there not by producing anything because the territory is not that way. For thousands of years, it has been like that. If it is going to be changed by scientific effort, that will take a long time. It does not change suddenly. We want those areas to develop in the real industrial sense. But at the moment, it very much looks a forlorn hopes. Therefore, while one tries to settle disputes always by negotiations, one strengthens oneself to deal with any situation that might arise or has arisen. These are normal platitudes, and the House will forgive me for repeating them, but I want a little clear thinking on this issue. We follow both these policies. We try to negotiate because that is not only right but inevitable, and I would submit that no country in the wide world would not negotiate. If they are dead opposite to each other, even then they talk. It is a circumstance of happy augury that we have had a glimpse of such talks in recent weeks. Very serious incidents between powerful countries like the Soviet Union and the United States of America shooting down bombers, aircraft, etc. took place. Well, they have talked about it. They have not declared war but tried to settle it. Sometimes they have given compensation or whatever it is, but countries do always negotiate. It is inevitable international affairs. Otherwise, there will be complete law of the jungle. You may say that one party is functioning as if it was the law of the jungle. It is deplorable, and one should naturally do what one can to stop that and negotiate. Negotiation always carries weight if there is strength behind it. A weak country or a weak person cannot negotiate at all. Therefore, strength is an essential factor.